Imagine waking up to waterfront views, to boutique shopping, fine dining experiences. Today, we're going to be talking about all things Chuckanut Drive. We're starting here in Fairhaven, one of the quintessential Bellingham neighborhoods. Stick around because we're talking all things Pacific Northwest luxury living today, from the hot spots to some really cool areas, parks, trails, and much, much more. All right, so today we're talking all things Chuckanut Drive here in Bellingham. So pulling the map up real quick. So Bellingham, we're here, and starting on the north end of Chuckanut Drive, north side ends in Fairhaven here. As we move all the way down, Chuckanut goes all the way down to Skagit County through Bow, Edison, into Burlington there. Though we're looking at it from the perspective from the Bellingham side of things. So if you are considering moving to Bellingham and thinking about hearing about Chuckanut Drive and the beautiful drive and all things Bellingham, I wanted to point out a few things here. We are starting out on Fairhaven at the top of Chuckanut Drive. Welcome to Fairhaven, the gateway to luxury living along the coast of the Pacific Northwest. The drive along Chuckanut Drive is a testament to nature's beauty, where luxury and scenery blend seamlessly. So as we're going through here, Fairhaven Green is kind of the starting point here. If you are in Bellingham checking out Fairhaven, there's a bunch of sights and sounds. One of my other favorite spots here in Fairhaven is Drizzle. When we look here, it's the Drizzle tasting room that has a bunch of balsamic vinegars, olive oils, crazy different flavors, all the charcuteries, so cheese boards, your cured meats, your wines, your beer, anything cool that you want to do on with family and friends. Drizzle is one of the coolest places, I think, here in Fairhaven to take a look at. Also, before you start going south on Chuckanut Drive here, Village Books, another really cool spot if you have a little bit of time to kill on the back side of the Village Green. When we look at Village Books here, a bunch of cool things, just bookstore. You can get a bunch of little goodies in there, and it's just a fun spot if you have a little bit of time here in Fairhaven. So as we're walking and going through here, Bellingham, we're kind of taking a look at Chuckanut Drive here. So as we start heading south out of Fairhaven, you got one other spot before we take a tour out of Fairhaven is Pause for a Beer. One of our favorite spots to take our pup for a little beverage, and then the dogs can kind of run around and hang out. It is a fun spot here right next to on the side of Fairhaven. So let's take some non-negotiables. You have to sign your pup up, and there's a few steps to go through, but it is a really cool spot. Again, if you have your furry friend, really cool spot to take them out to there in Fairhaven for a fun day. So as we're taking a peek here, down Chuckanut, as we're going south here, we got Fairhaven Middle School, and we come over to Fairhaven Park. Welcome to Fairhaven Park, one of our stops here today, right off of Chuckanut Drive, between Fairhaven and Edgemoor on our way down south. Fairhaven Park, we got 136 acres of park space. We got pavilions here, we got play spaces. The splash park here in the summer is always a blast for the kids. There's pickleball, tennis, extra space you can rent for parties and events, and huge fields here for soccer, for outdoor play, and everything fun in the community here. So take a look, Fairhaven Park. Now, as we look at Chuckanut Drive, you have kind of Fairhaven over here in terms of neighborhoods. Then you have Edgemoor. Now in Edgemoor, it is definitely one of the more primary neighborhoods off of Chuckanut Drive. Take a look at the video here. We're going to kind of walk through little parts of the neighborhood. With about 2,000 residents here in Edgemoor, we are just off of Chuckanut Drive, right down the street from Fairhaven Park. In Edgemoor, we have some cool amenities like Bayside Community Pool and Lairmont Manor and Fairhaven Middle School. So Edgemoor, one of the most sought after neighborhoods in Bellingham. Also about the southern third of the neighborhood is arguably some of the most magnificent properties here in Bellingham. Bordered by Clark's Point down there and Governor's Point. Right on Bellingham Bay, there's like conservation easements and just some natural beauty stuff that the city's making sure is protected there. Again, one of the most highly desirable neighborhoods in Bellingham. Take a look. Now in Edgemoor, we have Lairmont Manor. So this is a really cool spot to be able to go. We've had high school reunions here, we've had parties here, they have weddings here. It's in the neighborhood. Really tasteful, really classy, and just a really cool spot that is right here in Edgemoor, and it is an awesome venue to host gatherings. We've had neighborhood, what was it, like white elephant parties here. We've had high school reunions here, weddings, and it is right there in the heart of Edgemoor. As we're going south on Chuckanut Drive, one other spot that's really cool we stopped at is the Chuckanut Bay Art Gallery. We're talking just a few minutes south of Fairhaven here. A really cool spot if you're looking for that special someone. All right, just off of Chuckanut Drive is Chuckanut Bay Gallery and Sculpture Garden. This features over 400 local artisans that have different art, different sculptures, different handmade items, hand-blown glass, home decor, furniture, bird baths, water fountains. This is a really cool spot. Again, it's right off of Chuckanut Drive. Let's go take a quick look. This is a really cool destination. I mean, there's something for everybody. Birthday gifts, different charcuterie stuff, different artwork, jewelry, handbags. I mean, this has something for everybody in here. Local artisans and craftspeople. I mean, this is Bellingham through and through. I want to highlight some local artists here. So Rob Adamson, he's based in Woodby Island. So he does these really cool birds and fish and animal sculptures. Like this owl in particular takes 4 different craftsmen to be able to complete. Now another local artist is Calcifer Glass from Oak Harbor. They do these really beautiful trumpets is what they're called. Like just look at all of this art. So beautiful and so artistic, frankly. This stuff's awesome. So a couple of these things over here. So these are the ribbons and spires. So these things are the artist Aaron Lachey. Ribbons, spires, and flames. Another really cool local artist here in Sudden Valley in Bellingham, Stephanie Burgess. She does these peace poles that you'll kind of see strewn throughout, kind of intermixed with everything. Really cool. Our friends here just shared this picture with me. So this was what the structure here used to be, Funky Junk. This was back about in the 50s, and current residents, when they stop in here, they're talking about when they used to come, get penny candies, be able to, it was kind of a gas station, and get ice cream here. And then the original owners, Don and Carol Salisbury, they bought it back in the mid-80s, turned it around into what we have today. And the current owners, Ananda and Roselle Missler, they purchased it during COVID and kind of turned it in and transformed it into what it is today. So please, yeah, make a stop. You guys need to take a look down over here because there's something for everybody. Now, as we're going through, there is another park here, Trailhead, the North Chuckanut Mountain Trailhead. This is a really cool one. It hooks up with trails, the inner urban trail, going all in and around Chuckanut Drive. Beautiful as you kind of go through here. I take my kids there. We do kind of hard to do bike rides unless you get to the inner urban trail up there, but it's a really cool, just quintessential Bellingham trail system to be walking through and for an afternoon or just some fun out there in the outdoors. Now, as we continue down south on Chuckanut Drive, there's another spot called Teddy Bear Cove. This is kind of a cool little hike down to the waterfront down there. Teddy Bear Cove is a smaller spot than Larrabee State Park. I've taken my kids down to Teddy Bear Cove a few times. I would say a really cool one. It was fun. The Larrabee State Park. This is the one. My wife grew up with her parents taking her down there. My in-laws grew up with their parents taking them down there. Larrabee State Park is a really cool spot to take the family down to, right off of Chuckanut Drive. It's a little bit of a hike down to the water, but this is, again, one of the quintessential. You have to see this if you are in Bellingham, and if you live off of Chuckanut Drive, it's a fan favorite to go out to. They have camping, they have hiking. I've been to weddings down here, so they have venues that you can rent. It is just gorgeous and beautiful down here at Larrabee State Park. Now, off of Chuckanut Drive, a couple other notable things that if you are out there looking for a couple other really cool hikes. Fragrance Lake is one of my wife's favorite. This is one she goes back to time and time again. This one you actually hike up, and there's some outlooks and a little lake up there. You walk up, it's pretty pretty vertical heading up there. And then you got this really cool lake that you're walking around. It is private. You might see a few people. I guess if it's a busy day, you might see more friends out there. But this is a really cool spot to head up to. I believe this one you do need to keep your dogs on leash if you have them, but it is a really fun trail to get up to here. This is Fragrance Lake. You can see some really cool views out there. And this one's just a fun one. Now, in addition to Fragrance Lake Trailhead, there is Oyster Dome. So Fragrance Lake starts here. You actually kind of like head all the way up here, and then you have this lookout. This is super fun to go take a look at. Now, Oyster Dome. Oyster Dome is another one that has some really cool views. I'm trying to pull it up here on the map. Oyster Dome. So this one, last time my wife and I went here, we kind of took some switchbacks back and forth. This one at the top has some incredible views. You'll see kind of pictures of Bellingham overlooking Puget Sound here. Taking a look out on the bay, and Oyster Dome is just, it is gorgeous. Let's take a look at this one. You have some crazy killer views at the top up here. A little bit longer than Fragrance Lake, a little bit more vertical if you were coming from Chuckanut Drive, but there is a trailhead spot where you can go park a little bit higher up. And again, some of the hiking here is fantastic off here on Chuckanut Drive. Now, if we're looking, we took a couple stops today, and I just want to point out, when you're looking off of Chuckanut Drive, we can start on the north end. We're in Fairhaven. As we continue south, we have a large neighborhood, Edgemoor, which is typically bigger homes, a little bit more expensive than the median price point here in Bellingham, large estates, and really nice neighborhood here in Edgemoor. You have Fairhaven Middle School, you have Lairmont Manor for all of the different events and venues. You also have the Bayside Swimming Club here in Edgemoor. So some cool things. There's actually a pretty long wait list to get in here, but one of the, we have a lot of my kids' friends are in the swim club over here. So few cool things in Edgemoor. As we continue down south, there are homes kind of in and about off of Chuckanut Drive. Some really cool homes that have incredible views. Then we come down to Chuckanut Crest. That's going to be the next neighborhood right here off of Chuckanut Drive. Again, kind of intermixed. There's a number of properties up, down Chuckanut Drive, but Chuckanut Crest, gated community, and some switchbacks, but really cool views up there. As we continue a little bit further south, we have Chuckanut Point, Governor's Point, and homes in and around off of Chuckanut here. Not gated, but again, very nice homes. Imagine waking up to Bellingham Bay, overlooking the San Juan Islands. You look to the north, and you see the Canadian mountain ranges. And in the foreground, you have Bellingham. Western Washington University, you see Fairhaven, an experience unmatched. Chuckanut Crest community here, it's a gated private community, one of the neighborhoods off of Chuckanut Drive. So, beginning your morning, then you can take a hike through some of the many trails, go on the waters and kayak, or maybe visit one of the local beaches down here. Explore some of the boutique shops and some of the fine dining experiences in Fairhaven, just right down the street, and end your day with a glass of wine, overlooking again Bellingham Bay, the San Juan Islands, an experience unmatched. Luxury living at its finest here in Chuckanut Crest, off of Chuckanut Drive. So take a look. If you have any questions about Bellingham, Chuckanut Drive, some of the really cool hot spots up, down, and in around in terms of dining, in terms of hanging out with family, spots where you can get little gifts for everyone, or anything real estate related, give me a call, text or email. My team and I would love to help and look forward to talking soon. Thanks.